Recording. And we are recording. So, hello everybody. Hi Roland. Hi everybody, and welcome to a new SUMO community meeting. Today is Monday, the 24th of August. Unfortunately, we did not have a meeting last week. We had to cancel at the last moment because everybody was away and we weren't aware that there was another thing going on. So I do apologize for the late notice from last week. I hope that we'll be able to cover everything that we needed to this week. So hello once again. If you are joining the call, please make sure to enter your name in the Etherpad under participants. And also please mute if you're not speaking because we have quite a lot of people today and we may get some background noise. And yeah, hello to everybody. David, Michael, Buluma, Depriya. Oh, how do I read your name? Debapriya. I always have trouble with Indian names. And everybody who's watching. And let's get started. I have pasted the Etherpad in #SUMO, so check it out. And we'll start with the roundtable. David, you said that you want the item around the ENGB to be dealt with the last, so I'll move it at the end.
Just not even that can be here.
Yeah, okay. All right, so I don't see anything from last week, so we'll start with the roundtable. There's a lot of things going on. The first one is SUMO accessibility. There was a meeting that happened last week, if I'm not mistaken, and that's the Air Mozilla link. Yeah. David, you want to talk a bit about it? What happened there?
It was basically me, Rachel, and Joni on the call.
You're very quiet, David. I can't hear you. See if you can turn up your microphone and maybe make it closer to your mouth.
Yeah.
That's better, guys.
Yeah, it's a bit better.
What happened is myself, Joni, and Rachel had a quick meeting last Tuesday about SUMO accessibility. And the Etherpad on the video as well. We were basically discussing how to make it a wee bit more easier on that. Some suggestions was like for screen readers to possibly put videos on the articles.
Right, cool. So all the details are in the Etherpad there, and you can watch the meeting, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, thank you, David.
I have one question about the accessibility meeting. Is it going to be a regular thing now, David, or once a month, or how do you plan this? Like,
probably once a month, I would say. Which is
okay.
On that.
Okay.
On time zones.
Cool. Thanks. You're muted, Madalena, if you're saying anything. Or at least I cannot hear you. I can't either. Yeah. That's Berlin for you guys. Okay. I'm going to be doing the double, like I'm going to be the double for Madalena here. So yeah, remember SUMO accessibility, there's an Etherpad there. Sorry, there's a link to Air Mozilla, and there's all the details there. Then we have Dev Talks. And you're back, Madalena. So we're at Dev Talks, don't worry. You haven't lost much.
All right, I hope I'm still recording. Otherwise, this will be...
It is still recording, yeah.
It is still recording. Okay, sorry about that. The internet in the Berlin office is pretty messy sometimes.
I thought you actually took down the wall in Berlin. No, is it still there? The
now
Great Firewall of Berlin?
We used to be only 5 people in the office, and now we're way too many, and I think everybody's fighting over internet bandwidth at this time. So apologies if I drop out again. All right, so moving on, Dev Talks. Dev Talks, there is a question from John99 whether this is going to continue, and if so, what is planned next? And there's a link to a discussion with suggested topics. Yes, definitely we want to have more dev talks. I'm happy that people appreciate them. We have not yet decided on something that is going to be next. I would love to hear from more people on that thread, like what are they interested in, so that we can make a decision. But I do hope that we have something soon that is in the next month. So again, everybody who's on the call or watching, please, if you're interested in dev talks, if you want to have somebody from a specific team or whatever area to come and talk about that during our SUMO meetings, just join that discussion there and say what you would like to hear. This is a great opportunity for everybody to ask questions and find out about things that we normally don't know so much about. So yeah, please do that, and hopefully in the next month we can continue with this program. I don't know. Are there any questions related to this? I'm talking very fast. No? Everybody's happy?
No, but I'll add that John 99
yeah.
has a nice list of possible topics there. So if you want to look over those and if any of them resonate with you as something that you want to hear more about, then just let us know in the thread.
Yeah. Off topic, Vesper, if you can watch if there are comments on IRC or in the Etherpad, please do, because I cannot. Thank you. All right, moving on. Screen sharing, also known as Buddy Up. What is the progress? What are the latest plans? And there are 2 discussion threads that John opened. Yes, so screen sharing is happening, but it is very slow, unfortunately. We are now working with Rachel, who's also on the call, to help us more with that. What has happened until now, we have a small group of people who expressed their interest in trying the screen sharing experiment. Unfortunately, the process is a bit cumbersome for many, and there were some issues with people actually finding threads that they can answer to. It's hard to make a decision like what is the thread that I should offer screen sharing for and what isn't. So right now I'm working with Rachel so that we're trying to make a list of possible threads that people can experiment on. So hopefully that will make life easier for people. This is also a call, like if you're interested in trying this out and see how it is to help people through screen sharing, do let me know. This is not limited to a few people. It's open for everybody who wants to try it, but we need to make sure that people will do it, because they need to have like special, whoever is participating in the program needs to have like a special permission in order to be able to do that. I will update the threads that John 99 opened with all the information, and I was going to talk about it later during the call, but we're actually going to push on the screen sharing this week during the SUMO day, because that's where most people will be online trying to answer questions, so maybe that's an opportunity to test this out. If you have tried this or you want to try it and you have any feedback, please share it. As we wrote before in the threads, this is only an experiment. We want to see whether this is something that we can do, if this is helpful for users, if this is something that contributors like to use. So any kind of feedback is more than welcome, especially feedback after you have tried it. And yeah, we'll see afterwards how this works. I hope that answers your questions, John. I'll update the threads as well, as I said before. Any questions related to this one? Nope. All right. Moving on. Windows 10. Any particular news or updates? And there is another link.
Yeah,
Yes.
so the only big issue that we've been tracking is this certificates issue where people who are using the family safety features in Windows are having issues with loading pages in Firefox. But other than that, there's no major issues that have come up that are Windows 10 specific. There were some like theme issues and like UI issues, but those have been hopefully ironed out in 40. As far as we know, there aren't any other major issues going on with Windows 10 specifically.
Great. Thanks, Mark. I assume if people who are answering the forms observe anything unusual, they will just need to report in that thread that is being monitored, right?
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. All right. So if you have questions or issues or you notice anything unusual around Windows 10, please use the thread there. That is being monitored by Mark and Tyler, who are in close touch with the engineering guys, and they can give all the updates. All right. Any other questions? Windows 10? No? Okay. I'll move on.
A couple of bugs, Mark, that Q has dealt with from.
All right, say that again. Sorry?
Sorry. There's a couple of Windows 10 improvements coming out within 41, I believe, regarding bookmarks.
Oh, yeah. Firefox 41, right? Okay, cool. Adding ENGB as a locale on SUMO. So this is a discussion that I think David and Ian want to lead. So if you guys want to talk about it, please, now is the time.
Ian's one of the actual developers of the EN.-GB for Firefox. So yes. Can we add the ENGB? Because every other site on Mozilla's got it present part of the MDN.
All right.
What is the issue about adding it? Because I know I was speaking to Joni about it, and I've also spoken to Vespa, and they're actually happy in that as long as we've got a team. And so I know there was a discussion away in the past about ENGB.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
so
think. Yeah.
Can I mean, I'm just going to say what I know. Sorry. So we looked at the numbers for the visitors to SUMO in the last year, and the thing is, we don't really have. There was a hypothesis that people may not be using SUMO ENGB, or they may actually be needing SUMO ENGB, but they are not installing the ENGB version of Firefox or the language pack for it because they just don't have support for it, and there's little awareness that actually this version exists. Although from what I know, if you try to install Firefox from England or any IP address in that space, and that you will get the suggestion of installing an ENGB version. So the thing is, we do get users visiting, of course, from the United Kingdom, and we do get speakers using ENGB, but it's a very small number of people who would have their user agent set to that locale compared to all the other locales. It's not in the top 20, I would say, locales. So it is a locale that makes sense theoretically to have, because we do have, for example, let's say for some locales we do have 2 versions of it. However, the traffic for those is a bit bigger, or if it's not bigger, the differences between the different versions of the locale. So, for example, a poster child for this is, of course, Chinese. You could just say, okay, you know, Chinese. There's the standard language kind of, but we also have the traditional sort. We have the simplified sort, and so on. So, why don't we just stick to one? And the thing is, with English and let's say the global or American English, there's such small number of differences in this space that we're actually talking about. If we're talking about literature, or if we're talking about, you know, Wikipedia pages make perfect sense to have into different versions, because these are 2 living languages existing alongside, and they have a lot of different stuff happening. But for technical vocabulary and for technical uses, sticking to one version is super easy for us to maintain, because we don't have to bother anybody fixing, you know, certain vocabulary, like changing homepage versus home space page and so on and so on. There are some very, very minor details. However, for general understanding and using the English US locale as a base locale for users of British English, there's really the investment would just go over the top compared to what we would gain. People would probably not notice. That's the thing, unless we had very, very geographically related content. So I can assume that for some services online or for some products online, for some pages, there is a huge difference. There is a huge difference between Amazon.com and Amazon.co.uk. And I can totally understand that there's simply a British English version of the co-UK site and an American. The language is a bit different. For Mozilla, as we're trying to be as global as possible, in a way, but we're trying to be as non-geographically defined as possible. We're just trying to be there for the people. Adding this additional layer of linguistic complexity would simply not make much sense from the investment point of view. So I would say maybe we can try coming up with an extension for Firefox, which just takes all the words on your SUMO page that have the non-British spelling and just turns them into the British spelling, and then you just see the page rendered any way you want, with the spelling fixed or with certain terms made into their British equivalents. I mean, this is just a proposal, just a suggestion. It's a bit of a weird thing, but I think adding one additional locale in this case, it's really going to put a lot of strain on people who are going to localize it, because then we're going to have a group of people constantly monitoring and so on. And I'm not saying I do not believe in the British English contributors. I do. The thing is, why would you bother with this when there's more important things for you to do, or bigger things for you to do around Mozilla, organizing things and making sure that the community is active and so on and so on. I'll talk to Johnny about maybe figuring out how to poll our users. Maybe we're going to run a survey and we're just going to ask, do you see a significant difference, or do you see significant value in adding a British English version of the content you see right now? We can run a survey, we can target it on their IPs and so on, and we'll see how many answers we get. So we can definitely do a bit of research in that respect, just to see what people say, and then we can get back to you with the data. However, right now I think we're in a pretty safe spot, because there is no public outcry. There are no emails hammering our inboxes saying we really, really, really need this. It's critical. So it's a nice to have. It's not critical, and it doesn't bring immediate value to what we're doing. I'm shutting up right now, and I'm opening up for questions or comments, because I keep talking, and that's not nice.
Best not believe it or not, actually, I've spoken to the Mozilla.org team, so I have, and they were telling us that the locale is actually done by the browser, it's not actually done by the IP address. So if you go to Mozilla.org /en-gb, for example, download the en-gb version. Or if you go to en-us, download the US version.
I know that. No, the thing is, we can also check the client, and we can also check in analytics. We can see also the geolocation of people visiting. So that's I'm basing my knowledge of this on that data that we have. I know it's not perfect, because you can always be a user of language A in a country that speaks language B, and that can be totally wild. But this is the best data we can get, and that's what we're kind of basing our guess on.
I've actually got data from our websites, for example, such as WebMaker. There's over 20 million on it, 3 NGB. The SUMO have got over 1 trillion on it, according to the stats that I got.
I wouldn't know that. Well, I can check it, or I can ask around, but I wouldn't know that right now.
Plus, there's quite a lot of contributors actually in the EU that's wanting to do ANGB. There was a discussion thread a while ago about it, but we didn't do it in it, because we were originally going to be getting basically an add-on, as you were saying, in it, to translate over from ENGB to ENUS, and it never actually happened at SUMO.
So I mean, I assume there are historical reasons why it never happened. We can definitely try and enable the locale. And we can see how many visits there are going to be. We can do a trial run for a month, for example. I'm open to that, definitely. I'm just saying it may cause more trouble than gain in a way. And in this case, we're not really meeting a critical need. Like it's not like we need to provide a locale that's direly needed, or that seriously, like, users of British English cannot handle American English. That's the thing. Like it's not a super separate dialect or language. I know it's the basic one. Maybe we should actually force ENUS into ENGB. I don't know. Historically speaking, ENGB was first. But this is a discussion. On a technical discussion, I think at this stage we're happier with the way this works right now. That's an okay idea as well. This is a question that will have to. We can post on a. Yeah. So David, just to make it clear, this is something I can definitely bring up and will bring up this week on the platform meeting, just to ask Kadir and Mike what they think about it. I don't know what implications this would have for the database, for all the legacy, everything. Like, I know that migrations in the past where some locale changed, that brought up a lot of. I assume for a critical, like using as a base locale, this is the change. It may be very complex, and I cannot really tell you right now. It's way over my to figure out what it would have this change would have. I can imagine it's not impossible. I cannot tell you if it's easy or if it's something we shouldn't be doing at all, because things are going to explode and we should, avoid that. So we'll talk about this with the dev team, and then we'll figure out if that's possible, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think we should get some data, because like it would be interesting to see how, in terms of data, what would be like the impact as opposed to the effort, because it might be that would be like a lot of effort and very low impact, and in that case it would be very hard. Even if we wanted to implement it, would be very hard, because simply it would be a very low priority and it will always fall behind. So maybe that's something that we can do. I have no idea, for example, why other teams are enabling it. Maybe they have their reasons. For us right now, it doesn't seem to make sense, but we can look at the data. I think it would be much easier to have a discussion if we have that data, rather than.
Yeah, let's make the data public and then let's discuss it. And our needs might be different from developer needs, like MDN needs.
Yeah.
With different users, so it's different. We may have a case for it where others don't, or vice versa.
Exactly. All right.
What needed to be that GPD? Like, actually quite a lot of them who wants to get involved in SUMO.
Sorry, David. Again, I cannot hear what you're saying.
So, David, can you just
breaking up?
Like, the sound quality is very bad. Can you just type it into the channel and we can go on and we can continue the discussion on the channel on Pound Sumo? Okay.
Yeah, that should be easier, because you only have 3 more minutes. So.
Well, we can make it a bit longer, I guess.
Yeah. Well, people might need to go. Anyway, we can also just open a thread and discuss it on the forums as well. But it's a good discussion to start with. So thanks everybody who participated. That was very interesting. I'm sorry I have to cut it short, but I need to mind the time. All right, cool. Moving on to Meet the Team page. Michal, do you want to say something about this?
Yeah, Meet the Team. This is a page that hasn't been touched in a while, and there's probably a lot of outdated information on there, and we're sorry for that, because this is something we should be updating at least once every quarter, just to make sure that it's up to date. We've been in the process of poking people around the team just to give us a bit more information, and we will be cleaning it up with Madalena, even though she's not aware of that. Now she's aware of that. But it will be cleaned up, possibly shortened. There's going to be a lot of stuff moved or removed, just for clarity, because some of this information is in other spaces, so we can just link into it instead of having everything in this one page. And of course, we'll have a thread about your feedback. So you look at the page, so how it works out for you, and then we can, of course, add things, remove things, and whatnot. But thank you for bringing this up. Yeah, this is definitely something we have to make more visible and more up to date regularly.
Awesome. Thank you. Again, any questions, just say so. I'll move on. We're close to 30 minutes, so if people need to go, they have other meetings, whatever, feel free to do so. Vesper, I think we can continue with whoever wants to keep being in the call. You don't have anything after this?
I don't have anything. I'm happy to be here. Yeah, it's just if anybody needs to drop out, please do so.
Yeah, just go ahead. We'll continue and try to finish this. All right, awesome. Moving on to updates and announcements, contributors of the week. So I just wanted to once again say thank you to Michael Buluma. Again, I'm so confused with the way all these names are being pronounced. Michael Buluma, John99, Philip, Freddy, Thomas, and everybody else who's been helping out onboarding and saying hello to new people on the contributor forums and on IRC. Guys, this is a tremendous help, so thank you so much for doing it. It really, really, really takes a lot of time, and we don't always have it, so thank you so much for helping out and showing new people around, and I hope we can continue doing this with even more people to help out, because that's just like wonderful. So thank you guys once again for your amazing help. And you're all contributors of the week. And if I missed anybody who has been helping out new users or onboarding them, please add their names there, because sometimes I don't.
Yeah, just a quick shout out from David to everybody who helped with fixing our KB again last week. So thanks for that, people. If any of the viewers right now here or anybody else is going to view this video ever is there, thank you very, very much. I also wanted to thank Vanya for hitting 100% on the Serbian Firefox OS AP. He did this all by himself, so really power to him, like hooray, hooray. We are definitely appreciative of this, and we're in touch about things, and hopefully Vanya is going to have more energy for more stuff, because it's never ending, obviously. But yeah, it's really cool. We met with Vanya during the Moss Balkan Summit, and it was really, really cool to see him getting involved with us. So thank you for that, Vanya.
All right, cool, awesome people, contributors of the week. I just want to stop for a second and say hello to two guys who have just joined us during this call that are, I think, the first time this call. So Ian and Mahmoud, welcome. Happy to see you. I hope you guys can come again, or we can chat on IRC or whatever. We're nice and very friendly. Okay. Then I'll move on through the agenda. Firefox desktop. Is Mark still here? Yes, Mark, do you want to talk about Firefox desktop?
So there was an issue with Farmville that was, or not just Farmville, but an issue with the way the Farmville fit and it was discovered to be affecting Farmville, which a lot of people use, and a lot of people get really upset about it not working. A patch to fix the issue was supposed to have gone out on Wednesday, and it should be better now. Although I've been told by our social marketing team that they got a lot of reports of Farmville issues over this past weekend. So right now, I think there's a possibility that the patch actually made things worse, but we don't know yet. So if you do see people complaining about Farmville issues or issues with Flash games or things that require plugins, and they are on 40.0.2, which is the latest version with the patch, then please let me know, because, like I said, I think reason to believe that the patch actually made things worse, but right now we're not sure. Okay, the other thing is unsigned add-ons. So as everybody should know already, we're in phase 1 of the 3-phase rollout for enforcing add-on signing. In this version, people are getting notifications, in 40, excuse me, people are getting notifications that their add-ons are not signed. And in the next version, they will actually have their unsigned add-ons disabled. They will be able to re-enable them. Now, after that, in version 42, add-ons will not be able to be manually enabled. The signing requirement will not be able to be disabled unless users use a special version of Firefox that allows them to disable add-ons, and that's the unbranded version of Firefox, which doesn't exist yet, as far as I know. So there will be, even though users won't be able to disable the requirement for add-on signing, they will be able to install a different version of Firefox, essentially, that will allow them to, if they want to have that ability. The other thing is beta, and right now the plan is for beta and definitely Developer Edition to always have the ability to disable that. So if people really need to use, if we end up getting reports of people really needing to use some specific add-on and they can't disable it, this is like weeks off in the future now, so maybe I'm jumping the gun on this, but just so you know, there is another version of Firefox that they can use, or they can try using beta if they're brave enough to do that. Beta does have about sometimes twice the crash rate of the release version, and it updates more frequently, so there are some downsides to using it. But on the other hand, if people are brave enough and they want to have the ability to disable the add-on signing requirement, then that is an option. Another thing to be aware of, and we don't get a lot of these on the forums, but for Developer Edition, actually add-on signing is forced right now. So if people try to use an unsigned add-on, the Developer Edition will not let them, but they can disable the requirement in settings in Developer Edition. And the last thing I have is that I'm going to be out next week, unfortunately, so I will try to prepare for that as best as possible and let you guys know who to talk to Tyler, typically, if I'm not available. And then the next week after that is actually a holiday in the U.S. on the Monday, so I'm not sure what we're doing about that, or if we're doing probably just have the meeting anyway. But so you guys probably won't be in a meeting.
It's a holiday in Canada too. Labor Day with a U.
Labor Day, okay.
Because we follow
a lot of places
for labor.
Yeah. So you may not see my face for like 3 weeks, but I will be back after next week. So feel free to send me things if they're not urgent, and I'll get back to you when I'm back. That's it for 5 minutes.
All right, thank you. Those were some awesome updates for Firefox Desktop.
Ooh, that was a long update.
Woohoo! All right, so keeping that going, Firefox Android, Roland, how is that?
Oh, Joni's not here, so no Firefox OS update, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm 100% clear on signed add-ons on mobile. I thought we were lagging one release behind, so I thought in 43 instead of 42. But I thought Firefox for Android was one release behind with respect to signed add-ons, but I'm verifying that this week. We will have stuff about editing passwords. We will have stuff about tab queues, so you can send a tab to Firefox even when Firefox is not open, and when Firefox opens up, it opens those queue tabs. Hence the name tab queue, like waiting for a British bus stop. No, I'm just kidding. And other minor stuff, which I can't remember. But yeah, 42 will actually have some nice updates. Supreme Eagle asked a question about Flash Player. Yes, Adobe is, shall we say, less than optimal. Many years ago, I'm not sure if this is Supreme Eagle's question, but many moons ago, Adobe decided to stop upgrading Flash Player other than security updates for Android. So currently we're at 11.x, and the current version is 11.1, now 111.73. And as far as I know, when I tested this before I went on holiday 6 weeks ago, it worked great on those sites that work with Adobe Flash Player 11. Sites that are coded to work with Flash Player version 12 on Android or 13 will not work. They will work on Chrome because Google has lots of money and has a licensed source code from Adobe and maintains it. So I know our research team is trying to figure out ways around this obvious non-optimal situation, but with things like, what was our Flash replacement? I can't even remember what it was called. but so far that's only been used on desktop, and so far it's not a full flash replacement. So I hope that answers your question, Supreme Eagle, and I should change my username to Canadian Eagle or something. Or Crazy Eagle. That might be more appropriate, given my maniacal smiling on this. I've noticed that I'm the one smiling all the time. I'm always going like this. So I don't know. Come on, people. Smile maniacally, like me.
All right, everybody, maniacal smile. Thank you, Roland, for the updates. Again, questions around Firefox for Android. Roland is the guy.
Oh, Firefox for iOS. Yes, sorry.
Yes.
Thanks. So Joni and Heather Bloom are awesome. We should put Heather as a contributor of the week. Have written articles in English. It looks like we're getting close to the end game. However, I'm not at liberty to disclose the end game. However, let's just imagine, say you were, I don't know, like, say you were close to your favorite restaurant and you're about to order. I think that's where we're at the stage for Firefox iOS, if I was to be oblique and indirect and not clear, and apologies for ambiguity and not being clear.
Yes, the mystery will soon be unraveled, so apologies for...
Apparently the mystery will soon be unraveled. Yeah, like a mystery novel, like, you know, Agatha Christie. Sorry, too many cultural references. Okay, next.
Yeah. All right, awesome. So we can move on. I'll quickly just mute everybody because there's a bit of noise, and then whoever needs to speak, please unmute.
I think it's my turn now.
Yes, yes.
Unfortunately, Joni is not available because she's suffering from a certain thing, so hopefully she's going to be back soon. Okay, so anyway, localization, very quickly. Sprint updates. We have the Arabic sprint going forward. We're in the stage of planning locations and attendance and so on. And Mahmoud is here. Hey, hooray, good to see you, Mahmoud. Great. I had some chats and meetings and email exchanges with the Arabic contributors from all over the place. As you can imagine, Arabic is wildly popular around several locations on this planet. So we're figuring out right now what would be the best way of solving this, as in how to get the people gathered in a number of locations maybe, and kind of build community in those locations, those smaller hubs, and then maybe come up with some bigger meeting at some point once a year. We'll see how this goes. We'll have to look into possible costs and whatnot, but it's really working well, the organization part, and I'm super happy that people are so active, and it's great to see so many people being really eager to meet and do something together. For Chinese, I think I put the wrong one in. It should be TW, sorry. We will probably be using the same venue as the Elton Hackathon that's going to happen later this year in October, if I remember correctly. But again, more details, I have to get them from Peter Chang, and we'll be in touch about that. Indonesian, so we have... I always forget the username, but I think it's Kalimutu, and she's going to look around and ask the contributors for Indonesian where they would like to meet, how would it work, where are they from exactly, and so on. Waiting for some more details for those two locales. I'm still kind of hunting and searching for free additional locales for this quarter. If that doesn't happen, that's still okay. I mean, it would be ideal to have as many of the sprints that I planned as possible. But I understand it's summer season, people are busy and around, and they don't know what's going to happen in the rest of the year. So we'll work on that. Another thing, and just let me go through all the updates, and then we have questions at the end of this segment, then we can talk about it. Video tutorials are up on YouTube. These are 7 video tutorials, very simple ones. The longest video is like 4 minutes. These videos are about the basics of getting onto SUMO and how SUMO LTNN looks and what the things on the screen do. Take a look, comment on them. If you think they should be changed, edited, fixed, whatever, let me know. This is the first version. It has some just very basic effects and nothing special. I try to make it as clear as possible and as up to date as possible. So there, let me know what you think of those videos. And there's a reminder from me also. Joni posted recently about the iOS articles that are ready for localization. They're not made public or visible just yet, but there's a link to the forum discussion about this. We do have a bunch of locales figured out that are going to be, what was that? Was that a warning? Sorry. I got a chat message. Oh, okay, yeah.
No, I think we're allowed to talk about the locales. I think we're allowed to say that the locales that we would like localize first. Or
I can say that, we have some locales that are going to be more important. Yeah, I mean, we don't know anything about the countries. We just know that some languages are going to be initially more important than others. I can tell you that much.
Launch date.
Precisely. So that's it. Other than that, my mouth's shut. But anybody who wants to localize Firefox iOS articles or take a look at them, they're rather short and they're very up to the point. So just go there and take a look. And finally, heads up about locales on Pontoon. We do have some locales on Pontoon, Pontoon being the tool that we're going to use after Verbatim. We're going to transition off to Pontoon later this year, hopefully. Right now it works on the same level as Verbatim, so you can use either or. If you're interested in using Pontoon for localizing the UI of SUMO, let me know, get in touch with me, we can set it up. And we have a direct line to Matias, who's the main developer for Pontoon. And that's about it. The in-page localization is not ready yet for SUMO, so you cannot really click on anything on the page and localize on the page itself. But Pontoon has very nice functionality that works exactly the same way as Verbatim. And for Arabic Sprint, Mahmoud, as I said, I don't know if you heard that part, but I don't have anything other than what we discussed over email right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to ask people for the Arabic localization sprint to figure out more or less what the cost would be, and then we can talk about organizing this in more detail and actually have some decisions made and taken and things and places booked and tickets booked and so on. So that's about it. Okay. Any questions or comments after my expose?
Love your exposés.
Yeah, you took your radio voice.
Yeah, well, for that I should totally face mute. There you go.
All
okay,
right.
onwards.
Thank you, Michal, for this amazing expose. If there are no questions for Michal, I'll move on to the support forum. The support forum, loads of things happening. As I said before, this Thursday we're going to have a SUMO day. A SUMO day is that day where everybody comes together and sits down and tries to answer all the incoming questions on the support forums for every product. So join us. I hope a lot of people can make it and to help us bring that back up to 100% answer rate within 24 hours. That's our goal. So yeah, please join us. It will be a lot of fun. We'll be hanging out on the forums and in IRC, helping each other, answering questions, having some water to drink. Loads of fun. So I will update the forums with the information and have a blog post about it soon. And if you are already a contributor in the forums, you'll probably get a reminder from me. But if you're not, if you want to join, please do. We'll be there. And during this time, we'll also try with whoever is interested to try to do some screen sharing sessions with users and see how that works. If it does, this will be quite cool to try out. So that's about Thursday. Otherwise, let's say hello to some new people who have been contributing in the forums in the recent weeks. So I want to say welcome and hello to Shobs, also Edson Neto from Brazilian support, JHP512, Wolfram Marcos also from Brazilian support, Jesus Mostajo from Spanish support, and Iomi for English. So all these people are new. They have been helping us on the forums. So if you see them around, please say hello. Make them feel welcome to our amazing community. And I hope to see them here as well one day in our calls, which are so much fun. And that's about it. Anything else for today? No. All right. We had one cool meeting, almost an hour long. Doesn't happen a lot of times. Loads of cool discussions. So thank you. Thanks everybody who participated today. It was great to see some new faces. I hope to see you guys again. I hope to see you, David, again, and you, Philip, again, and you, Mahmoud, and you, Ian, and everybody else. And yeah, have a great week. I'll see you in the forums, and I'll see you on IRC. And if you need anything, you know where we are. On SUMO.
Madalena, did you get the message on the chat?
Did I get it?
There's actually a message on the video, your chat.
I got a message that says message in the chat. Is that the message?
No, there's
all
one
right,
here for the Arabic support. Someone's asking about that.
Yeah, we got that. We dealt with it. No worries. Around the Arabic support.
Yeah, there's actually one just come up there. Somebody asking if we can do a welcome event.
Yeah. Yeah, Vesper is dealing with that, so do not worry. All right, cool. There is another message from Debapriya. Is it possible to organize an online event welcoming SUMO contributors to share their ideas? Oh yeah, totally. We can do that. Let's chat about it, Debapriya. Definitely we should be able to do it. All right, I've been saying goodbyes for like 5 minutes now. So goodbye, everybody. I'll see you soon. Thanks. Bye.
Bye. Have a good week.